They said hospitals never sleep, but some nights, silence feels heavier than life itself. My name's Claire, 34, a senior nurse with 10 years of spotless service. Until one night, everything changed. The ICU was tense, lights dim, the hum of monitors steady like a heartbeat. And then, flatline. Room 306. Mr. Peterson, a cardiac patient stable for 3 days, was suddenly gone. I froze for a second before the chaos began. Doctors rushed in, alarms blared, and within minutes, the whispers started. One doctor in particular, Dr. Hayes, the man everyone called a miracle worker, he looked at me like I'd just taken a life. "Claire," he said, calm but sharp, "you administered the wrong dosage." I felt my stomach drop because I hadn't touched his chart that night. But the record said otherwise. My login, my initials, my so-called mistake. By sunrise, HR called me in. They didn't want explanations. They wanted a signature, a confession to protect the hospital's image. And just like that, 10 years of loyalty vanished under one falsified report. I didn't cry, didn't beg, didn't scream. Because when someone frames you that perfectly, it means they left fingerprints. They just don't know where. And I was going to find every single one of them. For the first time in 10 years, I didn't wake up to the sound of monitors. No scrubs, no ID badge, just silence and the sting of a name dragged through mud. They suspended me pending investigation, but I knew what that really meant. They were waiting for me to disappear quietly. Dr. Hayes kept his halo, smiling for cameras during a hospital fundraiser the same week. The man who framed me was now being praised for saving patient safety. Irony had never tasted so bitter. I started replaying every second of that night in my head, every timestamp, every log, every face. See, hospitals run on two things, data and hierarchy, and while Hayes ruled the hierarchy, I knew the data like the veins on my own hands. I'd built the medication record system back when he was still a resident. Every login, every override, every falsified entry. It all leaves a trace. So I went back, quietly. Not to the hospital, to my friend Mia, a tech nurse who owed me a favor. She hesitated, but when she saw what they'd done to me, she gave me 5 minutes inside the system. 5 minutes were all I needed. Buried deep in the logs, under a time-stamped medication edit, was his ID, masked, then re-tagged under mine. A digital fingerprint hidden in the code, a mistake only a lazy genius would make. I didn't print it, didn't save it on a flash drive. No, I sent it somewhere better, to the one place no one would expect a nurse to know, the hospital's external audit server. He wanted me gone quietly. Instead, I became the ghost in his system. I waited. Days turned into weeks. Not a single call from HR, not a single apology. But I could feel it, the tremor before the collapse. Then one morning my phone buzzed, an anonymous email. No words, just a link. It led to a document. Internal correspondence between Dr. Hayes and the legal department. Subject line, potential liability containment, nurse CL. They were building a full case to make me the permanent scapegoat. They thought they'd buried the truth, but they had no idea the audit system had already triggered a silent alert to the medical board. When you tamper with patient data, the system doesn't delete, it quarantines. And every falsified edit Hayes made was sitting in that quarantine log like loaded ammunition. The next day, the auditors showed up, unannounced. Hayes looked calm until they started asking about the timing of the dosage changes, the unauthorized logins, and the duplicated timestamps. That calm smile of his cracked like glass. I watched from the hospital cafe, unnoticed, as 2 security officers escorted him out, in front of the same nurses who once whispered about me. No headlines, no drama, just quiet justice. But I wasn't done, because I didn't want revenge. I wanted truth. And the truth, once released, doesn't heal the same way twice. A month later, the hospital sent me a formal letter, apology for administrative mishandling. They called it an unfortunate misunderstanding. I called it what it was, survival instinct. Dr. Hayes lost his license within weeks. The board found evidence of multiple falsified reports across years, not just mine. Turns out, I wasn't his first scapegoat. I was just the first one who fought back. When the news broke, people from the hospital started reaching out. Old co-workers, supervisors, even the HR manager who once demanded my confession. They all said the same thing. You were right. Funny how truth suddenly matters when the lies start costing money. I didn't go back. Didn't want the job, the title, or the sympathy. I found work at a smaller clinic outside the city. Quieter, slower, honest. Some nights I still replay that flatline. But now, it doesn't sound like failure. It sounds like closure. Because sometimes, revenge isn't fire. It's oxygen. You don't have to burn them down. You just stop keeping them alive.